Hey, welcome. Today I am going to share some meal prep and also some easy gluten-free dinners with you all. Hi, welcome. My name is Rachel. We are a gluten-free family. I have 4 boys and my husband and I, so there are 6 of us, and 3 of those boys are, well, they're 16 to 20. And really my 11-year-old can probably eat just as much as they can. I'm going to take you back because this is later in the week, but I did prep on Monday for some meals that I have already done, but I'm going to share that with you in just a second, and also tonight's dinner. But the first night I went ahead and made baked spaghetti and a low carb dinner for my husband and I. That is what I'm going to share with you first, along with the prep of some items that would make it easier for me to make the meals later in the week much quicker. Let me turn the camera around and show you the prep in the first night, which is actually a Monday. Okay, I'm starting out with this basmati brown rice that we got from Azure. We really like it. I went ahead and cooked up 4 cups of rice. I'm going to freeze half of it and then save some of it for later this week. It will be in the fridge fine for that period of time. Also, I have some sweet potatoes that I'm going to put in the Instant Pot. So 2 cups of water, put my little insert in, and I'm going to see how many I can get in here. I think I had 5 total or 6. Had to cut one in half to make it work, but we got it all in there, and then I turned it on for 18 minutes. Okay, I am making dinner at the same time. And when you try to do too much, things like this happen. It wasn't too bad. I decided to turn it off, and I went ahead and actually took the meat out and scraped all the salt out and decided to put it back on there. Went ahead and added the seasoning, which was onion powder and also some garlic powder. So I couldn't waste this meat. It was actually 3 pounds. I'm getting ready to make baked spaghetti. So, okay, I need to go ahead and cut up some of this cheese. I purchased this at Walmart actually, and we really like it. It just has a few ingredients in it. So I'm going to get some of that done. Water's boiling, so let's put these noodles in that I get from Aldi's. We really like these. The baked spaghetti works best for us than just regular spaghetti, and I will tell you why in a little bit, because of what I add into it, which includes the cheese and some cream of chicken, which I am going to use my broth to make, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. So we've got the meat going. Also, here is the spaghetti sauce that I'm going to use. I get that at Sam's Club, and getting ready to make some cream of chicken. But let's check on our sweet potatoes and see how that went. Going to turn that off and take a peek. This went really well. It actually shrunk down a little bit because they softened up really good, and the peel is coming right off, and that is what I wanted. So, okay, I am going to go ahead and get that cream of chicken made. Put my broth in there and get that boiling before I put my milk in. Obviously, I'm not measuring this, but I would say a cup of milk. And then I'm gonna get that simmering pretty good before I add in my gluten-free flour, which is about 3 to 4 tablespoons. And just getting that poured in. Also going to add some arrowroot powder to thicken it up also, and I add 3 or 4 tablespoons of that. So once it gets simmering to the point of boil, you really want to keep mixing it and checking on it, because it's going to start thickening up and you don't want it to burn the bottom of the pan. So I'm going to be working on that. Okay, we got this pretty thick right now, and I could totally leave it like this as a cream of chicken soup, maybe add a little bit more seasoning to it. But for this recipe, and also for when I make macaroni and cheese, I've started making more of a cream of chicken And then I'm going to be adding my cheese. So, and this is what I think makes the baked spaghetti taste so good. You know, cheese makes everything taste good. So I'm going to be stirring that in, and this is how I would make the sauce also for my macaroni and cheese. But you can do it without the broth, just add a little extra seasoning. But it definitely gives it, the boys seem to like it better this way. Okay, I went ahead and drained my noodles and put them in a 9x13 pan. I'm going to take about half of that cheese sauce and pour it on top of the noodles. And you really can layer this, do it however you want. And then I'm just taking the spaghetti meat. I've already put the sauce in it. I'm going to put that on top and mix it up. Now, for me, this is really an easy way to make this. You could add so many things to it to give it more flavor and taste, but this is a quick, easy dinner for us, and the boys like it. So I'm going to mix that all up real good. And like I said, you could just layer it. I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit more cheese. Probably didn't need to do that, but I'm going to sprinkle more cheese on top, put aluminum foil on it, and I put it in the oven. It was pretty warm, so really just to warm it up for 350. All right, I have zucchini chopped up because I had a little bit of meat left, and this is what my husband and I are going to eat because we're trying to eat a little bit low carb. And this was really an easy way. Like, I could have sliced it and layered it and made us like a lasagna out of it, but this was my quick, easy way of having zucchini and spaghetti meat mixed together, and it was actually really good. So, and just layering it in that bowl. I had just pulled the zucchini out of the oven. I cooked it and baked it in the oven, I'm sorry, and it was actually really good. I will probably do something like that again. So here is those potatoes. I wanted to show you how it was just peeling right off, which was great. That is what I needed. I'm going to use this in a recipe later this week. So I went ahead and got all those potatoes peeled and in a bowl. And here is the scraps from that. The chickens will eat that. I got the rest of the sauce. I'm going to put all this in some Ziploc bags for leftovers. Here's a plate of the baked spaghetti. All right, so here's the shredded cheese, the sweet potatoes, the rice, the cheese sauce, all of that for I can use later this week or put some in the freezer and use for a later time. So it's really nice to have some of that prepped for another evening that might be a little bit more hectic. That actually turned out to be enough for 2 evenings. We had leftovers, which is always great, and actually we had leftovers with the next one I'm about to show you, which we made chicken casserole. And I didn't get a lot of footage of it, but I'm going to share that with you, and that is what I used the rice for that I made the first night. And also I cooked about 4 boneless chicken breasts in the Instant Pot, and then I used 2 of them for my boys' dinner, and 2 of them I actually left in the Instant Pot and added some things in there for a low carb meal, and I will show you that also. That was actually Wednesday, and we had enough for Thursday night. Okay, I didn't really show you much of this, but this is chicken rice casserole, which is really just chicken, rice, and I used actually this cream of chicken soup, which I do have some of this, but I always don't have it on hand, so I like to have a recipe like I used the other night for if I do, which I have used in this also, but I had the can tonight. And I just cut up some green beans, and I think I put a little half and half in it to spread the sauce out a little bit further because I only used 1 can in a 9x13 pan, sprinkled with cheese. We're going to put this in the oven and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, this is actually the night after that when we had leftovers, so that is how it emptied out. And then this is the low carb, which I added some cream cheese, some heavy whipping cream, ranch dressing, and some broccoli, and that just put it back in there for about 5 to 8 minutes, and it becomes a really good creamy soup. So I'm sharing that with you. Okay, this is Friday night, and I'm actually or actually have already because it's in the oven, staying warm. And I used the sweet potatoes, and actually I made shepherd's pie. Now, from what I have heard, because the first 15 years of my marriage, I always just thought that's what it was called, but somebody said if you use beef, it's called cottage pie, I think. So I used ground beef. I don't know, but I still call it shepherd's pie. I hope that's okay. But then I added some vegetables, and I'm going to show you that, and the sweet potatoes. And obviously, most people use mashed potatoes, and we have done it that way, but I also have done it with sweet potatoes, and that is what I have. So that is what we are using. So this week is really just prepping, trying to make some easy meals, sharing some ideas with you. Hopefully that could help you when you're trying to think of new ideas, especially when you have to eat gluten-free. For me personally, I feel like it can be the same thing over and over. So, all right, let's look at the dinner that I made tonight. Okay, here is what I am prepping for the shepherd's pie, which was the sweet potatoes, and I actually added a little bit of cream cheese to those and also some heavy whipping cream. Here is the ketchup I am using. It does not have like corn syrup and all that other stuff in it. And also, this is what I'm using for the sauce: ketchup, a little bit of mustard, and some coconut sugar, just a tablespoon of it. So I'm going to mix it up, and I'm going to put it in there. And I'm also just going to add half a can of cream of chicken. See, when I used to make this before I was gluten-free, I used cream of mushroom soup, and I don't care for the gluten-free brands, and I've never really tried to make my own, and yes, I know I probably should. So I'm going to use that. Next, I'm going to add the vegetables, which is green beans and corn, and you can use any that you would like. Once I got to that layered, I went ahead and layered the sweet potatoes. That's usually a little bit thicker on top. Now you can add cheese to this. It can either be on top of the meat or on top of the potatoes, but I didn't add cheese this time. So I'm going to get this in the oven at 350, probably for about 30 minutes. I just want it to warm up really good. That was the prep work and the 3 dinners. It is Friday night. Probably will have leftovers, but it will probably be more like for a lunch on Saturday, and I will make a dinner tomorrow, either like chili or hamburgers or something. I'm just letting you know because I am actually just going to show you those 3 dinners this week, and let me know if this was helpful to you, or even share your favorite gluten-free dinner. We would love to have new ideas here. So I appreciate you all watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you again soon.